The role of feedback and accountability in motivation. We often think of motivation as a purely internal force, a spark of willpower, or a rush of enthusiasm. But the truth is, the most powerful and sustainable motivation is fueled not by isolation, but by connection. It is cultivated through the external forces of feedback and accountability. These two concepts act as our navigational system and our propulsion system. Feedback tells us if we're drifting off course, and accountability ensures we stay on the gas. Part 1. The trap of isolation and the need for a mirror. When we work in isolation, we develop blind spots. We become the sole judge of our own progress, and our human tendency toward confirmation bias means we only see what we want to see. This leads to inefficient effort, repeating mistakes, and eventually, the erosion of motivation because we feel like we're working hard without results. Feedback is the mirror you need to eliminate those blind spots. It is information that tells you the difference between where you think you are and where you actually are. Without this clarity, motivation is based on fantasy, not reality. You could be running in circles, convinced you are making progress, until reality delivers a painful, sudden jolt. The purpose of seeking feedback is to accelerate learning. Every piece of information, whether positive or corrective, is data that refines your strategy. It allows you to make micro-adjustments daily, preventing major course corrections that would otherwise destroy your motivation and require far more effort. We must shift our perception. Feedback is not criticism of our character. It is information about our process. Part 2. The two essential types of feedback. Not all feedback is created equal. To maximize motivation, you must actively seek out and utilize two distinct types of information. The first is corrective feedback. This is the crucial information that highlights errors, inefficiencies, and areas for improvement. It is the hardest to receive because it challenges our ego, but it is the most valuable. To process it effectively, you must develop an objective filter. Listen for the lesson, not the tone. Ask yourself, regardless of how this was delivered, what is the single, actionable piece of information I can use? This transforms sting into strategy. The second is affirming feedback or positive reinforcement. This is equally vital for sustaining motivation. When you receive recognition for a behavior, when someone tells you that your effort or a specific action yielded a positive result, your brain releases dopamine. This chemical response reinforces the behavior, making you more likely to repeat it. Don't dismiss praise. Analyze it. Understand what you did right, so you can intentionally replicate that success. This feedback builds confidence and provides the emotional fuel necessary to persevere through the difficult, corrective feedback moments. A truly motivated person creates a feedback loop that intentionally seeks both types, balancing the difficult truth with the necessary encouragement. Part 3. Accountability is the engine of action. If feedback is the rudder that guides the ship, accountability is the engine that keeps it moving. Accountability is the psychological pressure that ensures follow-through, especially when motivation, that fickle emotion, is nowhere to be found. We are, by nature, social creatures. We have an innate desire to maintain a positive self-image and avoid disappointing others. This psychological phenomenon, known as social commitment theory, is why telling someone your goal is infinitely more effective than just telling yourself. By making a public, or even semi-public commitment, you introduce a powerful external force that compels action even when discipline wanes. Accountability is effective because it forces you to externalize your goals. When your goals exist only in your mind, they are easy to postpone, fudge, or discard. When they are shared, they become real. You now have a tangible consequence: the loss of face, or the disappointment of a peer, that outweighs the immediate comfort of procrastination. This external pressure converts intention into execution. Part 4. 4 levels of accountability to sustain motivation. Effective accountability isn't one size fits all. It can be implemented on 4 distinct levels, each providing a different degree of motivational pressure. The first level is self-accountability. This is the foundational level, involving tracking and measuring your own progress. Tools like habit trackers, journals, and daily metrics force you to face the data honestly. This is the hardest form because there's no social consequence, but it's essential for building self-trust. The second level is the accountability buddy. This is a peer who shares a similar, but not identical, goal. You check in weekly for encouragement, sharing wins, and discussing obstacles. The key is reciprocity and non-judgmental support. The pressure is low, but the emotional support is high. The third level is the accountability group, or mastermind. This is a group of peers committed to specific outcomes. The pressure is higher here because you are accountable to multiple people and benefit from diverse perspectives. This environment leverages both accountability and corrective feedback, making it highly effective for sustained motivation. The fourth level is the high-stakes accountability coach or mentor. This involves paying a professional or reporting to a high-status figure. The financial and reputational stakes are highest here. This level is reserved for goals where the cost of failure is steep, as the external pressure is maximized to ensure compliance and effort. To maximize your motivation, you should strategically choose the level of accountability that matches the difficulty and importance of your current goal. Part 5. Creating the feedback accountability system. Motivation is sustained not by random bursts of effort, but by a consistent system. Here is how to integrate feedback and accountability into a powerful, self-correcting cycle. First, define the metric. Your accountability check-in should never be vague. Don't commit to working hard. Commit to a measurable unit. I will complete 5 non-negotiable tasks, or I will write 500 words. The metric must be clear so that success or failure is undeniable. Second, schedule the vulnerability. Accountability check-ins must be mandatory. Regular appointments. This ensures you face the music even when you've fallen behind. The hardest check-in is the one you need the most, as it forces you to confront the slip and immediately restart. Third, the feedback-driven adjustment. Use your accountability meeting as the gateway for feedback. When you report your results, immediately ask, based on my numbers, what is one thing I should stop doing and one thing I should start doing next week? This instantly converts the reporting process from a judgmental session into a strategy session. Finally, close the loop. Take the corrective feedback and formalize it into a new, measurable action for the next cycle. This integration is what distinguishes effective perseverance from simply trying harder. You are continuously iterating, learning, and improving your strategy based on objective data and external pressure. Part 6. Conclusion. Motivation as a collaborative effort. The belief that we must be motivated solely by heroic, internal willpower is a myth that leads to burnout. True, long-lasting motivation is a collaborative effort between our inner ambition and the external structure we consciously put in place. By actively welcoming feedback, you gain the clarity needed to avoid wasting effort. By embracing accountability, you introduce the necessary pressure to act when inspiration inevitably fades. Commit to making yourself visible. Be brave enough to face the facts your feedback provides, and be disciplined enough to honor the commitments your accountability requires. Stop relying on fleeting emotions and start building the structural systems that guarantee persistence. Your ambition deserves a system that works. Build your feedback loop, find your accountability partner, and watch your motivation transform from a fragile emotion into an unstoppable force.